Once upon a time, there was a place called the wilderness.
We did things out there that we're ashamed of.
There was some darkness.
Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
Yellow Jackets, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
Like me, Lee Murray wanted to be world champion in the UFC.
He just happens to be involved in the largest cash robbery in the world. This is the sort of thing you see in Hollywood films.
Heists, armed gang, huge amounts of money.
The policeman, Shorty, Hoodie, Mr. Average, high-vis, driver and stopwatch.
A fiendishly clever plan, which, up to the moment they drove away, had worked flawlessly.
Catching Lightning, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
I feel like I'm doing the champion's job. I'm fighting everybody. If we can clean out this division, we'll do it.
He's a towering inferno, always wants to heat things up. There's a nice combination by Fundora. Oh, down goes Ruben!
I see a lot of holes in his game, so I just feel like it's another perfect fight for me. Just like the Rosario fight, that was 10 days notice, and you guys saw the results.
Republican. Oh! Mendoza with the right uppercut!
For this fight, there was no hesitation. As soon as they brought up that name, I said, please get me that contract.
I feel like we've been proving ourselves over and over and over again. We're just here waiting for our shot to fight for the title. They keep putting people in front of us and saying, this guy's going to beat you, or this guy's going to knock you out. We'll see. I've seen his fights, seen his style, and obviously, you know, he's where he's at for a reason, but I feel like I can take that spot.
Brian Mendoza authoring the biggest victory of his career.
Just to shut those mouths up. Oh, that's everything, because the win is everything. I'm super motivated, and that just adds a tremendous amount of fuel to the fire.
You'll see on fight night, whether it's fighting from distance or fighting close up, we're going to do what Sebastian can do.
Brian Mendoza, the new interim WBC super welterweight champion of the world, that's how it's going to end, whether it's decision or knockout, but I will have my hand raised at the end of that fight.
April 8th, we'll see that. You know, I think a lot of people have been saying that about me, but I'm just going to have to prove myself again. We're going to get that win, that's for sure, and continue from there on.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Los Angeles as we are merely 2 nights away until we have a fantastic night of Showtime Championship Boxing coming your way at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time this Saturday night on Showtime from Dignity Health Sports Park, also known as the War Grounds. We have a compelling triple header on tap for all of you in our main event of the evening. The undefeated, the interim WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the world, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora, defends his title against a very determined Brian Mendoza. Also, the co-main event, going to be a scintillating affair because we have one of the fastest rising stars in boxing. He is campaigning at 140. Brandon Lee will go head-to-head against Pedro Campo of Mexico in 10 rounds or less. To begin the evening on Saturday, in the featherweight division, 2 fighters who have unblemished records. Someone's got to go. You have Luis the Twist Nunez matching up against Christian Olivo, a 10-round featherweight matchup to begin the night. Now, right now, we are in the midst of a tremendous run of Showtime Championship Boxing presented by Premier Boxing Champions. We are 2 weeks removed from an unbelievable night of boxing in Las Vegas as David Benavidez was victorious over Caleb Plant. Also saw Jesus Ramos victorious in the co-feature. 2 weeks from Saturday night, a massive fight that the world is talking about. The lightweight champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis, will go head-to-head against Ryan Garcia. Also tomorrow, a special edition of It Is Showbox, the new generation, coming your way at 10 Eastern. Sherrard Bunch will take on Brian Flores, no relation to me. That'll be from Brooks, California. Back-to-back Showtime events coming your way this upcoming weekend, starting tomorrow. But our focus is this triple header from the War Grounds in Carson, as I want to go ahead and welcome and let people know that the event is promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing. Tickets are available at AXS.com. I'm going to start off with our opening matchup with Luis Nunez and Christian Olivo. This man has a record of 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. 24 years of age from Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico. He's coming off of a unanimous decision victory over the previously unbeaten Carlos Jaquez last September. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christian Olivo. Christian, opening comments.
Christian, contanos tus sensaciones de cara a esta pelea.
Me siento muy bien, estoy muy contento de poder ser partícipe de esta función, de poder compartir junto a grandes boxeadores, a estos colegas que la verdad te admiro mucho. Y estoy listo y preparado para afrontar cualquier reto que se presente. Me he preparado a conciencia y la verdad vengo por la victoria.
I'm really happy, I'm really excited to be sharing this moment with everyone here. These quality fighters are going to give their all on Saturday night, and I can promise you I'm fully ready and capable of giving a great show when it comes.
We'll talk with Christian Olivo in a few moments. Let's talk with his opponent, 18-0, 13 knockouts from Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, having defeated 3 straight undefeated fighters before most recently stopping Renson Robles in December. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Luis Nunez. Luis, how are you feeling?
Let's go.
Can you give me your opening thoughts and how you're feeling for Saturday?
Bueno, tus primeros pensamientos, sensaciones de cara a la pelea del sábado.
Por favor, repítame la pregunta, no escucho muy bien.
No, tus sensaciones, tus primeros pensamientos de cara a la pelea del sábado.
Primeramente, buenas tardes, me siento muy bien de estar aquí en todos ustedes, gracias por la oportunidad. Me siento preparado física y mentalmente para esta batalla que tengo el próximo sábado. Me siento preparado, vengo a ganar mi pelea y vengo a arriesgarlo todo como siempre, porque esta es una pelea muy importante para mí, aunque todas son importantes, pero vengo por la victoria.
I feel both mentally and physically ready. I feel great. It's going to be a battle, but I'm ready for war. And this is a very important fight for me, an opportunity that I can't pass up. And I am going to be trying my best on Saturday night to give the fans a great show and try my best to come out on top.
Luis Nunez, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Bater, our outstanding translator. Our co-main event, this one at 140, will meet one of the adversaries, as this man has a record of 34 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 23 wins coming by way of knockout. From Guaymas, Sonora, Mexico, he's won 8 straight since coming up short against the former champion, Teofimo Lopez. This guy isn't afraid to fight anybody and loves a big challenge, and he certainly has that on Saturday on Showtime Championship Boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Pedro Campa. Pedro, how are you feeling heading into this matchup?
Pedro, ¿cómo te sentís de cara a este nuevo desafío?
Buenas tardes. Primeramente, agradecido con Dios por esta oportunidad. La verdad estoy muy bien preparado. Estas son las peleas que debo de ganar. Estoy consciente que debo ganar esta pelea el sábado para colocarme otra vez en peleas importantes. Estoy listo, estoy en mi mejor forma y lo voy a demostrar este próximo sábado.
First of all, thank you to everyone involved for this opportunity. I'm really thankful with everybody, and I know that I have to win this fight on Saturday for greater things to come. If I want those challenges, I have to come out on top on Saturday night, and I'm going to try my best to do it, and I prepare really well. So hopefully the fruits of that labor will come true.
All right, speaking of big challenges, this young fighter certainly is looking for that as he continues in his ascension up the ranks of the super lightweight division. 27-0, 23 knockouts from La Quinta, California. He has stopped 16 of his last 18 opponents, most recently having halted a very tough Diego Luque back in January. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Brandon Lee. Brandon, how are you feeling heading into Saturday against your opponent, Pedro Campa?
I'm feeling great. I had a great training camp. I'm healthy. My family's healthy, so I can't ask for anything more.
Well, we look forward to seeing you display your talent. We'll come back around as we continue to move up the card. It is our main event of the evening. This one for the interim WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. This fighter, 21 wins, 2 losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico, now training in Las Vegas under the guidance of esteemed trainer Ismael Salas, having knocked out former unified super welterweight champion of the world, Jason Rosario, last November to give him this massive opportunity. He certainly worked very hard for an opportunity like this to be on a platform in the main event against Sebastian Fundora. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Brian Mendoza. Brian, give us your thoughts as you are merely 2 days away from colliding against the undefeated Sebastian Fundora.
I'm just super excited. I want to start off thanking Al Heyman, Showtime, Luis Tacuba Jr. I have a great team behind me. I'm just, glad, that last performance, I was supposed to be this big underdog, and I came out and you guys saw the results. And you can expect the same type of performance this Saturday night. Just ready to go.
All right, Brian Mendoza, ladies and gentlemen, and also the interim WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World. Literally, there's a reason why they call him the Towering Inferno. Not only does he stand nearly 6 feet 6 inches tall, but he brings a ton of pressure, throws punches in bunches, and certainly brings the fire to his opponents every single time. He was involved in the 2022 Fight of the Year, stopping Erickson Hammer Lubin last April. What a memorable confrontation that was, as he is returning to Dignity Health Sports Park in his second straight main event, or third straight main event, beg your pardon, second straight at the War Grounds. He defeated Carlos Ocampo by unanimous decision last October. His record, 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Very proud of fighting out of Coachella, California, trained by his father, Freddie Fundora. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the interim WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, the Towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian, how excited are you to step inside the ring and collide against Brian Mendoza?
Very excited. I'm very excited that you guys are all here today, supporting me in this card. We're just ready to put on a good show. That's all I can tell you.
All right, Sebastian, we're going to start off with the opening matchup and talk with Christian Olivo, Martin Batzer, our outstanding translator. Christian, how big of a fight is this for you, taking on a fellow unbeaten fighter in Luis Núñez?
¿Qué tan importante es esta pelea para vos, Cristian, considerando que tu oponente también está invicto?
Bueno, es una pelea realmente importante, sabemos lo que está en juego. Sé que a partir de aquí, de conseguir una buena victoria, vendrán peleas mucho más importantes y podré colocarme entre los peleadores de la élite del peso pluma.
It's nothing new to me. I consider this a very important fight. That's a stepping stone. And if I'm able to do what I want to do, then I'll be able to fight against the elite fighters in the featherweight division.
Does it mean a little bit more to him that he's fighting at such a memorable venue, an iconic venue for boxing, Dignity Health Sports Park, the War Grounds, where so many greats have displayed their talents and been involved in some Fight of the Year candidates?
¿Tiene un gustito especial para vos el saber que vas a pelear en un estadio que contó con tantas peleas legendarias, con mexicanos que tuvieron noches muy memorables allí? ¿Acaso eso quizás te motiva un poco más?
Claro que sí, es una emoción muy grande el poder pelear en un recinto que ha tenido peleas legendarias, donde se han visto grandes espectáculos, y me da mucho más motivación a subirme al ring y dar un show de la talla de ese recinto.
Absolutely. It motivates me a lot because we've seen so many Latin American and Mexican fighters put up memorable fights, have memorable nights at Dignity Health Sports Park. So I want to do the same. I want to go out there and put on a show for all of you fans.
All right, Christian Olivo, now we'll talk with your opponent, Luis Núñez. Luis, what do you feel the difference is going to be in the fight against your opponent, Christian Olivo? Not giving away your game plan, but what do you feel has your advantages and will benefit you on Saturday?
Sin necesariamente develar nada de estrategia, ¿cuál crees que será tu clave para ganarle a Christian este sábado?
Bueno, realmente yo soy un peleador que me adapto a todos los estilos, no tengo problema en pelear en la corta, larga, media. voy a hacer mi pelea, vengo con un buen plan para salir victorioso y creo que su estilo se me hace cómodo para mí para salir victorioso.
Christian is someone that will present a variety of challenges to me, but I have no problem fighting from short, medium, or long distance. I have trained really hard and I'm ready to do whatever it takes to come out with the victory in the end.
What kind of statement is he hoping to make for people that have never seen Luis Nunez fight and compete? When they tune in on Showtime Championship Boxing this Saturday, what is he hoping that the public takes away from his performance?
¿Qué esperas que la gente que quizá no te conoce tanto pueda llegar a ver de Luis Núñez y quedar impresionada quizás con lo que logras hacer dentro del ring? ¿Cuál es tu expectativa para que la gente pueda conocerte un poco más como boxeador dentro del ring el sábado? ¿Qué les vas a mostrar?
Bueno, pues el sábado voy a mostrar lo mejor de mí porque quiero darme a conocer más y lo quiero hacer con lo que sé y con mi bolseo y creo que tengo que hacer una buena demostración para seguir mi camino a conseguir la grande pelea que es lo que quiero.
People are gonna see what I'm really all about, and I know that I have to stand out there for people to be impressed by what I do and to have the challenges that I want coming up. So in the end, it's really up to me to show fans who Luis Núñez is truly about.
It sounds to me like Christian Olivo and Luis Nunez want to steal the show. The featherweight's always very exciting. That'll open up the night on Showtime Championship Boxing this Saturday, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. The co-main event, Pedro Campa taking on Brandon Lee. Pedro, for you, you've won 8 straight since losing to Teofimo Lopez. What did you learn in that fight that has certainly benefited you because you have been on a tremendous run as of late? You're looking to make it 9 straight wins against Brandon Lee.
Tu momento como boxeador es sensacional de cara a esta pelea contra Brandon Lee. Pero ¿cuáles dirías que fueron las lecciones principales, lo fundamental que aprendiste de aquella pelea contra Teófimo López que puedes aplicar este sábado?
Bueno, yo pienso que tuve mucha experiencia en esa pelea. Estar arriba del ring con Teófimo López, un boxeador que ustedes lo conocen, es un boxeador que tiene muchos recursos. Mucha gente pensaba que iba a durar 2 rounds la pelea, me iba a noquear, me iba no sé, a fulminar, no pasó nada de eso. Pararon la pelea, pero yo estaba bien. Esa pelea me sirvió de mucha experiencia, lo vuelvo a repetir y lo vengo a aplicar este próximo sábado. Vengo a ganar, no vengo a pasear.
It was such an invaluable experience to fight against a resourceful fighter such as Teófimo Lopez. And you know what? People thought that I was going to get knocked out quickly, like Teófimo was going to somehow shoot me out of the cannon. But I showed what I'm worth, what I can do inside the ring. I put up a fight. And this time around for Saturday night, I came here to win. I didn't come here just to walk around LA.
How big of a win would this be for him to hand Brandon Lee the first loss of his professional career?
¿Qué tan vital, importante sería para vos el poder quitarle el invicto a Brandon Lee y ganar esta pelea?
No, pues este es el objetivo mío, el próximo sábado ganar a Brandon Lee. Es un boxeador que tiene recursos, es un boxeador que está invicto, que es de la empresa y vengo por todo, ¿no? Vengo a ganar, estoy dispuesto a dejar todo arriba del ring para llevarme la victoria a México.
Brandon is also a resourceful fighter, but it's my duty to go out there and give everything I got in order to win. Nothing else matters right now.
Brandon, for you, you are 27-0, 23 knockouts, coming off of a win over Diego Luque. You're back. You fought in January, and I feel like you want to be quite active this year. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
So what are you hoping to demonstrate against Pedro Campa, a guy who, as he mentioned, had a battle against Teofimo Lopez, but what are you hoping to do? Do you want to go ahead and beat him more convincingly than that of Teofimo, or does it not matter to you? What's your mindset heading into Saturday?
Style makes fights, so I can't do what Teofimo did, and Teofimo can't do what I'm going to do. So what Teofimo already did, that's a pass. Saturday night, this is going to be a new style. Campa's going to see something that he hasn't seen before. And, the main goal is just to win.
We've watched you on Showtime Championship Boxing, whether it be streaming fights, on Showbox, and now on Showtime Championship Boxing. What has this maturation process been like for you? As we're watching you grow and evolve and develop, it feels like the lights don't, you don't pay attention to them, and it seems very natural to you.
Yeah, I've been boxing since I was a young kid, so every time I step in the ring is just another time I step in the ring, no matter who it is. I could be fighting King Kong or Godzilla, just another day in the office.
It's weird because you have stopped 16 of your last 18 opponents, but from my standpoint, I almost feel like people are disappointed when you don't knock people out because of the run that you've been on. Do you feel like fans now have these unrealistic expectations that they expect a knockout out of you every single time?
Yeah, 100%. But, shit, I ain't Superman. I can't knock everybody out. But, if the knockout comes, the knockout comes. My past 4 fights, I've already gone the distance twice. So I may go the distance again this Saturday, but if the knockout comes, I'm going to capitalize it. I'm going to take advantage of it and end the night early.
Let's talk about the chemistry you have with your trainer, your father. You both are in sync with one another. What is that dynamic like? Because it's a winning formula. You're 27-0 with 23 knockouts, and you're looking to make it 28-0 on Saturday.
My father and I, we have a great relationship. I think the reason why is because there's a lot of respect between the both of us. And, at home, we're father and son, and then we're in the gym, we're student and teacher.
So you're making your way up the rankings at 140. Alberto Puello is going to match up against Rolando Romero on May 13th. He holds a championship, at 140. Is that something you're eyeing on? Is there one particular guy? Is there somebody out there that you're like, if I get past Pedro Campa, I want? What's Brandon Lee thinking?
What did Adrian Broner say? He said, "Come on the can, man. Anybody can get it." Anybody can get it.
Okay, so that's your focus. That's what you want to go ahead and do.
Absolutely. I'm not just fighting just to fighting. I'm fighting to become a world champion. So at the right time, in the right moment, we need to make the right move and go after that world title.
Lastly, before we get to our main event, from judging by talking with you and your team that you want to fight the best, and we're starting to see that a lot more in boxing. Coming up, we saw David Benavidez take on Caleb Plant. What a matchup that was, a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas on Showtime pay-per-view. Also, we got Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. I feel like this younger generation is really trying to test themselves and make a name for themselves.
I think so, absolutely. Shakur, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia, Tank, I feel like they all set the bar very high. So I feel like, I'm right there with them somewhere. And, everyone's eating. I'm eating. So I'm not looking at nobody's plate.
All right, that's our co-main event, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Lee, Pedro Campa. Now our main event of the evening as we have Brian Mendoza and Sebastian Fundora. Brian, for you, how big of a fight, if you are victorious on Saturday, not only would you claim the interim WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the world, but obviously you would hand Sebastian Fundora the first loss of his career. How big would this be, and how big is Saturday for you?
This Saturday is everything. The win is everything, and, I've dedicated everything to this. This is a big, there's proof. You just keep working hard. Took some setbacks in my career, but you just keep working hard. Now look at where I'm at. I went from fighting on just like a year ago, I was a swing belt. They're taking the ropes down, taking the lights down, everybody's leaving. And now, I'm main event fighting for a title. So this is proof that hard work really pays off. And the journey continues. This isn't the end of the story, but we're just going to keep going and take care of business on Saturday. But starting Saturday, this is everything. The win is everything right now.
You came up short against Jesus Ramos, but then you followed it up, training with Ismael Salas, and you wiped out Jason Rosario. What has that change meant to you, being under the guidance of Ismael Salas, who has trained some tremendous world champions, and I feel like you have really grown exponentially since training under Salas?
Yeah, of course. That's why. Like me and my family, we just we moved out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We moved to Las Vegas for that, because I felt like there was another level I just needed to hit. And I feel like, the chemistry I've had with Salas has really brought everything out. And finally, I've been in Vegas for about 5 years now. So, I have the experience, I have the time in the gym and just everything. So, I feel like everything's finally lining up together beautifully and just tying together. That's what you're seeing the results of now.
Where do you feel like you're going to be successful against Sebastian Fundora?
I'm going to be successful with whatever I got to do. If he wants to fight inside and bang, or he wants to try to use his distance, his range, I'm really ready for whatever. We trained for everything. We left no stone unturned. I'm ready for 12, 15 rounds if I need to. We're just ready to go. I really don't care what kind of fight it is. We'll make the adjustments, and just to get the job done.
All right, Brian Mendoza. Now, Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno. Sebastian, what's it like for you to be back, your second straight main event at the War Grounds in Carson? You headlined there back in October, a win over Carlos Ocampo, but what's it like for you having your name in the lights yet again a second straight time?
It feels good. It feels like I'm doing the right thing, you know. I've been fighting all these tough guys. Mendoza, another tough fight, and I'm just happy to be in front of these fans again of Southern California.
Do you like fighting guys like Brian Mendoza, who you know are not going to be hard to find? They like to mix it up. You know that Brian Mendoza is originally from Albuquerque, and he has that fighting spirit about him to where he's going to want to mix it up because you do occasionally, you know, like to go ahead and go toe-to-toe with your adversaries.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight, especially for these fans out here, these fans of Carson. They're very demanding, and a fight like this is going to give them their money's worth.
Being your third straight main event, last year in April, that fight of the year against Erickson Lubin, then you fought Carlos Ocampo, but is it becoming easier being a main eventer and dealing with the media obligations and just, you know, some of the things that being, you know, the last fight of the night on television, you know, sort of require you in terms of duty-wise?
Yeah, it's definitely becoming easier. This one, my dad's been mentioning it. You feel it through camp and stuff. I haven't been nervous, but it's been like a overwhelming feeling, a good feeling, of course. But now I'm very relaxed now. I've been very relaxed this whole camp, this fight, coming here, and we're just ready to go.
What are you hoping to demonstrate on Saturday against Brian Mendoza? He went ahead and defeated Jason Rosario, former unified super welterweight champion of the world. But what kind of performance are you looking to make to not only the fans, but the rest of a super loaded super welterweight division?
We're just here to work. You know, we've worked last 5 months. We've been working hard, and we're just ready to put on another good show for everybody that's watching in Carson.
Now, looking at the rest of the division, we saw, you know, last month, Tim Tszyu victorious in a quality performance over Tony Harrison. Erickson Lubin still out there. I'm sure fans would love to see a rematch with that. Jermell Charlo, hopefully he's healthy and will be back inside the ring. But assuming all goes according to plan in your favor on Saturday, is there anybody that you have your sights set on? Is it Jermell Charlo, or, you know, is there anybody else that you have in mind?
Of course, there's Jermell Charlo. He's the champion. I think we've been fighting a lot of these fights for that championship fight. But whoever falls in line, you know, whoever we can get. They called the mandatory for Harrison. We didn't get that fight, but, you know, we'll take whoever we can.
Tell us about the chemistry that you have. You know, I mentioned about how Brandon Lee's trained by his father. You are trained by your father. Your sister is trained by your father. She's also another tremendous fighter and just, you know, world-class competitor. But that chemistry that you all have with each other, training with your father.
It's like what Brandon said. He's our mentor. He's our practically our leader. You know, everything he says we're going to do, and we're going to do it respectfully. And that's what boxing as well. With coach and boxer, you got to listen to your coach and follow his rules or whatever the case is. And it's extra that he's our father as well, because it's not only inside the ring, it's outside the ring as well. So he's just someone I look up to. My sister as well, and we're just happy to have him.
Being the main eventer on Showtime Championship Boxing, I've seen you at fight events. People come up to you, ask for photos, autographs. You were becoming more well-known, and fans gravitate towards you, obviously because of your style. And I felt that the change has really happened over the last year or so. What is that like, knowing now when you go to fight events, people are going to come up to you, ask for autographs and photos, and the admiration that fans have for you and your style?
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I'm happy that the fans enjoy our style, enjoy our personality, and you know, I feel like this is all hard work, and now it's finally paying off.
All right, it's that time of the press conference where I want to get the thoughts of all 6 fighters on their predictions for their matchup on Saturday. Showtime Championship Boxing, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing, also TGB Promotions. Happy birthday to Justin Goosen Brown. Does a wonderful job with operations underneath Vice President Brittany Goosen Brown. But we'll start off with our opening matchup, this one in the featherweight division. Christian Olivo and Luis Nunez. Christian, I will ask you, sir, your prediction for Saturday night against Luis Nunez.
Tu predicción para este sábado contra Luis Núñez, ¿cómo va a terminar? ¿Knockout, por puntos? ¿Qué decís?
Definitivamente buscar la victoria y espero una victoria por knockout.
I am definitely expecting a win, and not only that, I expect to win by a knockout.
All right, he's predicting a knockout. Luis, your opponent's predicting a knockout. Are you going to knock him out? What is your prediction, sir?
Luis, tu oponente está vaticinando un knockout acá. ¿Vos qué decís? ¿También garantizás un knockout o cuál es tu sentimiento para esta pelea?
Bueno, mi antepenúltima pelea que tuve fue con un mexicano y dijo algo sobre nosotros los dominicanos y le hice tragar su palabra. Creo que va a pasar lo mismo o peor con Cristian Olivo.
It's funny because the last time I had a fight, I remember a certain Mexican fighter saying like, "Oh, Mexican guys, we have this special something, and we are these storied fighters that can go up against anybody." And I made him eat his words. So I have the feeling that this time around, the same thing is going to happen, or maybe even worse for him. So you'll have to tune in and see.
I love that. That's our opening matchup in the featherweight division. Those are fighting words. Luis Nunez, Christian Olivo, our co-main event in the super lightweight division. Pedro Campas, you take on Brandon Lee. What is the result going to be on Saturday?
Pedro, tu vaticinio, tu predicción para el resultado de este sábado, ¿cómo crees que te va a ir?
Bueno, voy a ganar por cualquier decisión, si knockout o decisión. Vengo dispuesto a pelear los 10 rounds, si son los 10 rounds, pero vengo dispuesto, como lo vuelvo a repetir, vengo a ganar.
I can't stress this enough. I came here to win. I don't care if it's by decision or by knockout. I came here ready to fight all 10 rounds, but in the end, I won my hand race. That's all that matters.
All right, Pedro Campa, confident heading into this matchup against Brandon Lee. Brandon, in a perfect world, how does the fight unfold on Saturday against Pedro Campa?
In a perfect world, in this world, I'm going to win or I'm going to die trying.
All right, Brandon Lee, very focused indeed. I feel the intensity. That's our co-main event. Brandon Lee, Pedro Campa in the super lightweight division. Now the main event of the evening for the interim WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Brian Mendoza, your prediction, sir?
Another explosive upset. I put everything into this camp, just like complete sacrifice, suffering, and everything day in, day out. And, I feel ready, whether it's a knockout or a decision, but I just know it's going to be an explosive performance, and make sure you tune in because it's going to be a great show.
All right, now your opponent, the reigning, defending interim WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the world, the top ring inferno, Sebastian Fundora. How does the action unfold against Brian Mendoza on Saturday?
We've been in this position before. We're here to win. We work very hard, and that's simple as that. We're here to get the decision and continue on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set for Saturday night, Dignity Health Sports Park. Sebastian Fundora, Brian Mendoza. What a triple header on tap. A tremendous spring, a sizzling spring for Showtime Championship Boxing presented by Premier Boxing Champions. We're now going to have a face-off with all the 3 fights on Showtime Championship Boxing. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. Do not miss it. If you're here in the Los Angeles area, AXS.com for ticket information. Do not miss the action. Sebastian Fundora, Brian Mendoza. Have a great one, ladies and gentlemen. And we will now have the fighters face off as is customary with prize fighting.
Chicos, vamos a tener el careo, así que por favor, si se pueden parar.
Thank you very much for watching.
I feel like I'm doing the champion's job. I'm fighting everybody. If we can clean out this division, we'll do it.
He's a towering inferno, always wants to heat things up. There's a nice combination by Fundora. Oh, down goes Lubin!
I see a lot of holes in his game, so I just feel like it's another perfect fight for me. Just like the Rosario fight, that was 10 days notice, and you guys saw the results.
Republican. Oh! Mendoza with the right uppercut!
For this fight, there was no hesitation. As soon as they brought up that name, I said, please get me that contract.
I feel like we've been proving ourselves over and over and over again. We're just here waiting for our shot to fight for the title. They keep putting people in front of us and saying, this guy's going to beat you, or this guy's going to knock you out. We'll see.
I've seen his fights, seen his style, and obviously, you know, he's where he's at for a reason, but I feel like I can take that spot.
Brian Mendoza authoring the biggest victory of his career.
Just to shut those mouths up. Oh, that's everything, because the win is everything. I'm super motivated, and that just adds a tremendous amount of fuel to the fire.
You'll see on fight night, whether it's fighting from distance or fighting close up, we're going to do what Sebastian can do.
Brian Mendoza, the new interim WBC super welterweight champion of the world, that's how it's going to end, whether it's decision or knockout, but I will have my hand raised at the end of that fight.
April 8th, we'll see that. You know, I think a lot of people have been saying that about me, but I'm just going to have to prove myself again. We're going to get that win, that's for sure, and continue from there on.
Lightning Lee Murray wanted to be world champion in the UFC.
He just happens to be involved in the largest cash robbery in the world. This is the sort of thing you see in Hollywood films.
Heists, armed gang, huge amounts of money.
The policeman, Shorty, Hoodie, Mr. Average, High Vis, Driver, and Stopwatch.
A fiendishly clever plan, which, up to the moment they drove away, had worked flawlessly.
Catching Lightning, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
Once upon a time, there was a place called the Wilderness.
We did things out there that we're ashamed of.
There was some darkness.
Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
Yellow Jackets, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.